Okay, so in our 10 o'clock hour, thanks again, Randy, for taking us through. In our 10 o'clock hour, we've got a presentation by Connie Ichinose here from the Hilo Club. Yeah, Hilo. She's going to talk a little bit about club service. I'm going to mute everybody's mic. You know, we did get a little interruption at the last minute, but not a problem. If you have questions or comments or want to ask questions here, you can go ahead and do it on the chat. I do want to remind you that if you do something privately to somebody else, when we print it up, your private chat comes out. So with that, I will turn it over to Connie. If you have questions, like I said, put them down and I'll put them out to Connie at the end of her presentation. And then we're gonna try to wind this thing up by 11 o'clock so we're ready for the next presentation. So here's Connie. Hi, Connie.
Hi, thank you so much, Vincent. And hi, everyone. Okay. So like Benson said, I'm gonna share the screen and get my presentation up. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you today about club service, and basically it's if your club is either stagnant or you want to reverse that downward trend as Randy was talking about, and the thing you have to do is have, as Randy mentioned before and as you've been hearing a lot of, is you want a vibrant club. And that's what we all strive for. And so club service is a big part of that. And it may seem to be very basic kind of stuff, but it's the basics that really make a difference. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about, in the next few minutes, is developing an effective program to engage your members. It's also having welcoming meetings, and then how to give opportunities to develop leadership. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, and we may all know this, but do we all do this, is you want to engage your new members. And the member engagement starts even before member installation, and that's with your new member orientation. You want to communicate to your new member or new incoming member the responsibilities of Rotary and what they can expect, so that there are no surprises for them, and not only what they can expect, but what is expected of them as a Rotarian, because we do have some expectations. And then you're going to have your new member installation. What you want to do is you want to make it special. You want to look at that handsome guy over there. You want to make it special. You want to make sure that your incoming member knows that this is a big deal. Invite your family, you're going to be highlighted that day. Make it special for your member from day one. Okay, so some best practices you want to go through. You want to, and Randy mentioned this in his presentation as well, and I want to tell you that membership and club service, they pretty much go hand in hand. So you want to engage your new member immediately. And some suggestions, ways you can do that is, in addition to their club application, their Rotary application, you can have them fill out a bio. And the main thing you want to get out of that bio is their areas of interest. So are they interested in youth services? Are they interested in international or foundation? A lot of them say community service. So once you get that from your incoming member, you send it off to your leadership, your board of directors, and they in turn have to call the member, get in contact with them, and get them on their committee right away. Okay. Another thing you can do is spotlight the new member from the very beginning. As soon as they get into the club, make it really special, from member installation, new member spotlight. What you can do for a new member spotlight is you can have someone on the membership committee go and interview that person. And they can do it via email, they can do it via phone, but ask them questions about themselves, like, for instance, what's your favorite book? What is your most memorable vacation? Things like that. And then you put it into a form with their picture on it, and then you send it off to the general membership. And this gives, because a lot of members will not have met them in person, maybe weren't at the installation, but they saw the name. Now there's a face to the name, and you know a little bit about that person. So if you see them, you can go up to them and say, hey, you know, I saw your spotlight, and you know, my favorite vacation was Japan as well. And then you have a point of, you know, a common talking point there. So that's, and you know, that everybody loves to see their name. And it's a blue badge program. You probably have heard of this, and I don't know how many clubs still do this, but it is such an effective way to get a new member engaged right away. Because if you're not familiar with it, it's a checklist of things, tasks that the new member has to complete, like say within 3 months, and they just check it off. And like, for instance, you can, they have to join a committee within 3 months, or they have to serve as a greeter. They have to participate in a service project. They have to attend a club social. They can, you want them to visit 3 other clubs within 3 months. And that's so easy to do now, especially since we have the e-clubs. You know, they can just go online and visit, or they can check out Zoom meetings or things like that. And then what you can do too is after they've done that, after they've completed that, you can ask them to stand up and share what they saw at the other clubs, the differences or similarities, and that gives them another opportunity to stand up. And, you know, it's a leadership opportunity to stand up and speak in front of people. So, you know, and you can do simple things too, like we have them on our Blue Badge program is lead the 4-way test. Something simple to do, but yet people are terrified of doing that for some reason. But you know, you start getting used to those little opportunities. Okay, then we of course want to engage all members. And like Randy had mentioned, you want to make your legacy members feel important as well. So, and you want to provide leadership opportunities for everyone, you know, everyone there. There, you can start a mentorship program. You know, we have members that are so knowledgeable, have so many years of experience, so why don't we use them? Start a membership program, mentorship program, and you know, have them work with the new members and mentor them. And this can be as simple as answering questions when they have it, or just making them feel welcome. Like a great mentor would text or call this new member and say, hey, are you going to go to this service project? You know, and I'm going, why don't you, you know, why don't we meet up over there and we can work together? Or, you know, are you going to go to this social? You know, I'm going to go, let's go, I'll save you a seat, or something like that. And that just means so much to the new member coming in. Okay, you can do vocational talks, and I know a lot of clubs already do that, but sometimes we forget. If you make it a regular thing at your meetings, like once a month, a member is going to do a vocational, or every other month, or however big your club is. And this is what I call Team TLC. It's a great little subcommittee that works so well. And what Team TLC would do is, this could be a subcommittee of membership, this could be a subcommittee of your social committee, but you have, like, you know, a few people that are willing, and what they do is they know that if they see a guest or a new member come in, they will seat themselves at their table, and they will sit at the table and just and this is covert. They don't say, oh, I'm Team TLC and I'm here to do this. No, they would just sit there and just engage with that person, be warm, be welcoming, be friendly, there to ask questions because they know all about Rotary, and just, it just changes the whole atmosphere. Okay, and then of course you can always do monthly recognitions. And I know most clubs do this, but you can take it one step further than that, because you can do something special for them. Like what I would do is every beginning of every month, I would put out a calendar, because a lot of members now still want to see a calendar. Some of them still want hard copies, but on the calendar, I would put down all the meeting dates, which days we're dark, you know, who the speaker is that day, any kind of community service projects we have, any kind of socials we have that month. And then I would add in all the birthdays, anniversaries, and club anniversaries. And then when I blast it out via Club Runner, you know, I would also put a little blurb in there like, hey, you know, 50 years, congratulations, and, you know, make little shout outs and stuff to people. And like I said, people love to see their name, no matter if it's an email blast or whatever, they just love to see their name. And then I would try to make it special too. Like if I see them, they come to a meeting and it was, you know, it's their birthday, you know, let them wear a silly hat. You know, take their picture, give them candy, everybody sing happy birthday. It just makes, you know, it's fun. Okay, so your club experience. All this thing adds to your club experience, and it all is, it all goes to club service. So what is the first thing we see when we come into a meeting is your greeters, and that's your first impression. And you want your first impression to be warm and welcoming and friendly, correct? So I can't see you guys, but I'm assuming you guys are nodding your heads and going, yeah, that's right. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, it's really good, Connie. Everybody, I'm looking at everybody's face, and
Everybody's nodding their heads.
yeah, they're happy. They're also making really good comments in the chat, so go for it. You're doing really great here.
Well, thanks. Hey, see, look, he's already doing it. He's like giving affirmation, and see, Benson is a true leader. Okay, so that first impression and greeters are also another way that you can nurture leadership. Because if you have a new member as the first time greeter, you always put a longtime member in there with them. And I can tell you from my experience, the first time I was a greeter, I was terrified. I mean, it seems like if you've been in Rotary for a while, it's like, what's the big deal, right? But as a new member, and you guys can try to remember your first time, I was terrified. I thought, I don't know all these people, because we have kind of a big club, like, you know, like Randy was saying, like 90 now. At the time I started, we had about 70, but I didn't know all their names. And I was like, oh my gosh. But I was put in with a longtime member, and the great thing is they would stand close to me and say, oh, that's so-and-so coming. They would see them walking up. So I would be able to know their name and say, oh, hi, Jim, nice to see you, and get their badge. And each time the longtime member would help me and stay at my side, and it was a great experience. So of course, your meetings should always be professional and organized. And your meetings should be interesting, insightful, and relevant. And I know that's not always easy to do, but it makes a difference. Like recently, a few months ago, we had a speaker that spoke on, she was working locally with sex trafficking. And I tell you, you know, we see this in movies and documentaries and stuff, but none of us had any idea the effect it had locally. And so in that meeting, you could hear a pin drop. It was just, and everybody was like, you know, like that. And just a couple months ago, the Rotary Club of South Hilo had put experts together and had a meeting on COVID-19. This was even before the lockdowns or anything. And President Benson Medina was very smart to put it in the paper, because what happened was there was so much interest in it already. So we had a great turnout, lots of clubs came out, and I sat next to two ladies who knew nothing about Rotary. They weren't invited, they just saw it in the paper. And so, you know, we were, again, and that kind of lends itself to what Randy was saying, is you're branding yourself, and we're getting our name out there. Okay, so you also want your meetings not to be so like predictable, so serious, so ho-hum. You want to have some fun sometimes. So once we had, during Christmas time, we had one of our members dress up as Hawaiian Santa, and we had members, they could pay $5 and to sit on his lap. And you would think, like, why would you want to sit on some old guy's lap? But everybody did, and they paid $5. And we had, we used that money to go into our kettle for our Salvation Army bell ringing. And so see, look, we had Nalani was a visitor that day. And there's Wally there, looking kind of naughty. So, you know, it's a fun time. You want to change it up sometimes. And you also want to have creative meeting formats. You want to do like same thing as change it up. You want to also change the location sometimes. You want to have meetings at different places. So mixer socials, those are the best place to have them. We had one at the Palace Theater. It's a local, like from, I don't know if it was originating in the 20s or 30s, but it's an old theater. So we rented out the theater. We had everybody, or encouraged them to dress up in the 20s, and we hired their organist, and we had him do a presentation for us and talk. It's so interesting. You never know all these things about what they have to go through to play the organ while the silent movie is going on. And then we watched like a couple different silent movies, and they opened the concession for us, and it was a great time. Everybody had a great time. You wonder, like, where do I get ideas for this? How do I figure out where we're going to have it? And all you need to do is listen and keep your ears open. I had someone tell me that they just went to the art center, and it was a great exhibit. And I had been aware of the art center. It's kind of it's a historical building. And I thought, oh, you know what, that might be a good place for a mixer. So I went and checked it out, and sure enough, it was wonderful. So we got them to come in, for us to come in after hours, and someone on staff gave us a private tour of the exhibit. Then upstairs, there are these great rooms upstairs and a balcony overlooking the beautiful park. So we had pupus out there, and we had an expert on wine and sake and liquor come in and do like a tasting for us. We played games, and, you know, everybody got drunk. So we had a meeting too. The meeting was like only 5 minutes. So, okay, we also, at one time, we had a sushi chef come in, and he did the sushi demonstration. We laid it out for everybody. Everybody got to eat, had a great time. So those are some different things you can do for your meeting, because at each of these activities, we did have a meeting, and it was short, but it was still a meeting. So you can have it as simple as, you know, doing a potluck at somebody's house. Do that. Or you can have it at a bar or a restaurant. You know, that's fun as well. And so how do we plan a mixer? Super easy, and yet why doesn't everybody do it, right? Okay, so the first thing you got to do is figure out approximately how many are going to attend. Like Randy was saying earlier in his presentation that, you know, at first we started off with only 10 people, but it slowly, consistently, we kind of knew how many were going to come. And usually it was like, say, 25 to 30 people approximately. And so what you want to do is work out how much it's going to cost per person. And what I would do is always figure out, okay, if I'm thinking of a restaurant or a bar, what are people willing to spend? What are members willing to spend? So I would say, like, okay, maybe $25 a person they might be willing to spend, because they got to buy drinks as well. So I would tell the restaurant or bar, okay, I want it to be about $20 per person. And so we have that extra $5 to use as to pay for our guests that come. Because what I really wanted to do is make sure that people can bring guests and not think like, okay, I'm going to have to pay 25 for me, 25 for my spouse, 25 for my guest. So that makes me think like, okay, I can only afford to bring one guest. But we want people to bring many guests. So we want to make sure that the guests can come for free. So you just got to kind of work out the numbers that way. Okay, you want to pick a couple of dates, couple of venues to call, because of course, you know, the first thing they're going to ask you is what's the date and how much you want to spend, correct? So you got to make sure you have all that information. And if it's, sometimes even restaurants do this, they'll let you do BYOB. So that's the best option if possible. But if not, if you ask a bar or restaurant for happy hour drink pricing, I almost guarantee almost always they're going to say yes. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is start promoting it. Okay, so you're going to, of course, first thing, create an event on Club Runner, send out RSVP invites. You're going to make up a flyer for members, and I always make up a flyer for guests as well, because you don't want to put like information on this is how much it's going to cost and blah, 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 blah. So easy to edit that. And if you're not, you get your publicity person to do it, but you get help from people. You want to, of course, make sure the president adds it onto their announcement because you want to promote it. And then you want to pass around a sign-up sheet, because I guarantee you there's going to be people who, I don't know why, but when they get the RSVP invite, they never click that and register. Why? I don't know. They always want to write it on the sign-up sheet. So I always have a sign-up sheet. And you know what's funny is, and I guess many of you may have experienced this, but even if they register online and they get a confirmation, email confirmation, they will always, when the sign-up sheet is passed around, say, did I sign up? Did you get my registration? Yes. So I don't know why that happens, but I'm assuming this is universal. So anyway, do a sign-up sheet, and you want to promote. You know, just make sure everybody knows about it. Okay, and then important, set a deadline and be firm on that deadline and make sure they know, because I would just repeat this over and over again. It sounds like I'm being mean, but people got it. That if you sign up and you don't show up, you still pay. Because, right, if you're going to turn in the counts to a restaurant, you're still going to have to pay for it, right? So whether if I tell them, if you're going to sign up, make sure you're coming, because you're going to pay. And if not, and I've never had a problem if the people that don't show up willingly pay and say, hey, I'm sorry, I couldn't make it. So Rotarians are awesome in that way. Okay, so other ideas. Speed networking. A lot of clubs do that, and that's a great no planning event, no planning, almost no planning, no cost thing that you can do. Like, say if your speaker cancels at the last minute, you know, boom, pop in the speed networking, you know, or you can use, or you can use it as a standalone event and make it into kind of a social and have the drinks and the food and stuff too. Or you can make it as an event or a project within your social or whatever. But it's a great way for people to, you know, one-on-one talk to someone, because a lot of people are shy. A lot of people don't have social skills yet. They join Rotary and they don't know how to talk to people. So this is a great way to encourage that, and you get to know them, and they get to, you know, you get to find out, you know, what business they're in or what they're interested in. Virtual happy hour. And of course, this is something that's kind of new. And I think Conrad is here, but he can maybe share with us how his virtual happy hour went I think it was last week. And it's something that's going to be more and more popular, especially with this pandemic going on and with e-clubs. And I thought I would love to go to his drag queen. Is it a drag queen? His drag queen bingo. I mean, I think that is so awesome. I would love that. But okay, you know what? Right now, I can't see all of you, just a few of you, but we're going to play a real fast game. And I mean, I don't know what kind of games you play. I've never been to a virtual happy hour, but if I were doing a virtual happy hour, this is one game I would play, and it's stupid, but I don't care. Okay, so I'm going to think of a finger, one of my fingers, and I'm going to tell you, this just shows how invested I am in you guys, because of the pandemic, I usually get my nails done, like, you know, at least once a month, right? And so see how invested I am, because I'm going to show you my fingers. They are like crap. They look like crap. But so anyway, that's why I'm still going to do it. Did you just say yes, they do, Benson?
Yeah. No, I did not say that. But I feel for you. I have empathy.
Yeah.
I mean, mine look terrible too.
But yours always look like that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, just kidding. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to think of one of my fingers. Okay, I'm going to, at a count of 3, I'm going to hold up one of my fingers, and I want every one of you also to think of what finger I'm thinking of, and you guys hold up that finger. And now, so you got to think to yourself: is she naughty? Is she nice? Is she good? Is she bad? We don't know. What's that? Okay. All right. Are you ready? And you guys all, I cannot see all of you, but Benson, you can, and make sure everybody does it. All right?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody, come on. Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hold up the finger. How many of you are good and how many of you are bad?
That's a thumb. That's a thumb.
What? That's a finger. Do you say I have only 8 fingers? Well, okay, Jeannie, we want to see, what finger did you hold up?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so if any of you who did not hold up your thumb, you guys need to drink.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my game. I know it's a lame game, but that was it.
Well, now you know the kind of games that Connie likes. You know, the kind of games where at the end of it, you're in an altered state.
The games are played when they're a little bit sloshed, you know, so it's more interesting. Okay, and there are mini mixers, and I gotta tell you, I think this is so genius, and not to pat myself on the back, but I think this is kind of genius. And I'll tell you what the mini mixer is, because it requires almost no planning at all. Okay, so you get like several Rotarians to volunteer to host a mini mixer. And ideally you want to have like 3 or 4 mixers, you know, in a month. And all they do is they pick the restaurant or the bar, the restaurant, the date and the time. Okay, and then the person in charge will send out that information to your members to sign up. And again, it works best if you do a physical sign up. They can. Some people do sign up online, but most people sign up physically, because this is what they do. They'll look at the sign up sheet, and some people pick by restaurant. They'll go like, oh, you know, I've always wanted to go to this restaurant, never had the chance, I'm gonna sign up for this one. Or some people will go like, you know what, I love these group of people that's going to this one. I'm going to go to this one. And most people do it this way. They'll look at the sign-up sheet, say, you know what? I have never talked to this person. I've never had spent time with this person. I'm going to sign up for this one. And that's why you want to limit your mini mixer to about 8 people at the most. And all the host has to do is they have to arrive early. Of course, they text everybody ahead of time the day before, and they remind them of the mixer. And then they arrive early, they greet their guests. Then the host is also, only thing is responsible is for making everyone feel welcome and happy and engaged and talk to everybody. Okay? And one important rule I tell everybody is it's always Dutch. Everybody pays for their own stuff, and I just you know, ingrain it in the host's head that they are not to even buy rounds of drinks for people. Everybody pays for their own. And the reason for that is that you don't want someone to say, you know what, I want to host, but I can't afford to buy rounds of drinks for people. Like, you know, I mean, no, so I don't want that excuse at all. I want them just to go and have fun, Dutch. You can even do like brown bag at a park or something. You know, it's not so much where you are, what you're doing. It's the fellowship and the getting together with people. And the only other thing I ask of the host is that they take a picture and they send it off, and so that we can promote it some more. Okay, so isn't that kind of a good idea?
Yeah, good idea, Connie.
But I mean, it's so easy because the chairperson, the president doesn't even have to be there. I mean, and the Rotarians love it. And another great thing about it was that the Rotarians brought their spouses that normally don't ever come to any event. And so we got to know a couple spouses that we had never even met before. And some of them came more than once to more than one mini mixer. And they all said, like, you know what, it was not that bad. It was fun. I might come to another Rotary event now. And so that's leading on to the next thing is your family members. That enriches your club experience because you want to involve your family members. Mini mixers are a great way. Community service projects are a great way because you want your Rotary club becomes like your extended family. So it's just natural that you want your immediate family to get to know your extended family. Okay, so developing leaders. Like we said, a lot of the stuff was mentioned before, all contribute to leadership opportunities. But another idea you could do is you can invite a Toastmaster member to your club, and they can be your speaker, or you can work out a workshop for them, you know, have them do a workshop for you. You want to prepare members for future roles And that's kind of like on the job training, you know. So what you want to do, and I think a lot of clubs do this now, but a lot of clubs don't. Your past, whoever was in that role, your present, and if you can find the future one in there, have them all working together at the same time so they can help. Because I can tell you when I first was asked to be in charge of membership, I asked, what does it entail? And I was told, all you have to do is get the membership certificates ready for when we have new members. And I said, oh, okay, I can do that. And so easy, right? And as it turns out, I quickly found out that that's only such a little small part of it, you know. I mean, membership involves almost everything. And there was no one there to teach. But luckily, we have workshops, trainings, and webinars. And so everybody here gets an A+ because they're here. You know, you're taking out time from your Saturday. And nothing that is spoken here, or probably any of them, is like inventing the wheel, because you can find all of that information online. Because when I was trying to figure out what to do, I went to RI website, and all you got to do is go to My Rotary, from there learning and reference, and then there's a drop down that you can go learn by topic, and you can find out almost any topic you want. You know, I think that some people might be thinking to themselves like, okay, you know, all of that is easy. I can do that. I can do any of those things. And a lot of you might be saying, well, I do those things. We do those things. Why doesn't it work? Why do we only have the same 5 or 6 people coming to our socials? Why why are we stagnant? And that's the thing, you know, like if you have the same 5 or 6 people coming all the time, it can get to be a little dangerous, because what happens is they become a clique, and your club becomes cliquey, and then it becomes fragmented. And, you know, these cliquey people think that, you know, we're the cool kids. And if you want to sit at the cool kids table, you know, you have to be special. And that's so not true. And so we have to break that. And how do we break that? And that's doing all the things that we just talked about, you know. And it's not just doing one thing, it's doing all of them. And those 5 or 6 people are actually the most important, in that they are probably your leaders, and they're the ones that have to set the example. And I think it's changing the mindset of your club, trying to make them realize that it's not just the president's responsibility, it's not just the board of directors' responsibility, it's everyone's responsibility to do that. But it takes the leaders of the clubs to go out there and set the example. Like, you know, go to the new member, go to the guest, and say like, hey, you know, great to see you, and my name's Connie, and you know, is this your first time here, or something like that, and he come and sit with us, or something like that. And then it also works. You have to do it to your members as well. A member brings in a guest, so you go to them and say, and you don't have to be leadership in the club, you can be just a regular general member. You just go to that person and say, oh, great, you brought in a guest, like, who is it? And you know, and you can just say like, you know what, awesome job, you know, awesome job. Do you need help? Let me know if you need help with that person. I can follow up for you. I can sit with them if you're not going to be here, stuff like that. Pretty soon that member is thinking to themselves, wow. And just like how Benson is so good at edifying, you know, everybody likes to be complimented. Everybody likes to say, hey, great job, right? You hear somebody say great job, it doesn't matter from who, right? So they start thinking like, wow, I did something good. And it's not just me. The responsibility is not just me to when I bring in my guests. I don't have to make sure that I'm the most interesting person, or that they're having such a good time. I have the whole club behind me to help me and make this, you know, and make this experience good for them. And pretty soon you start thinking like, wow, I'm a cool kid, you know, like I am one of the cool kids. And before you know it, it becomes contagious. And everybody in the club realizes like, we are the cool kids, you know, this is the cool kids table, and it's in Rotary, right? So that's all you got to do, is it's not just one little thing. everyone has to be invested in it, and it has to be all this together. And you have to be consistent with it. You have to not just do it once or twice. You have to do it all the time. And then you will see results. I promise you, you will. Okay, so that's it. So want to have Q&A, and I do have a special guest. So Randy was telling me he was going to have a special guest, Lane. I was a little jealous because I thought, I want a special guest too. So you know what? I got like a super special guest who's super cool kid. And that's past District Governor Melanie Flynn. She is also our D5000 membership chair. So she's going to help me with Q&A.
Okay, so cool, Connie. So what you can do is take down your screen share, and you'll be able, then you'll be able to see everybody. There we go.
Okay.
There's my sister Nalani. Go for it.
Well, Connie, you did an awesome, awesome, awesome job. So everyone, please help me give a round of applause for our dear Connie.
Oh, brother.
She's so nervous, but what I like about her is everything is from the heart. It speaks, what's on her mind, but her motive is always to help fellow Rotarians in any way that she can. So thank you for an awesome job. And you too, Randy. Are there any questions out there for Connie? No.
Can I just say something real quick? So Connie, everybody is asking for your presentation. So if you wouldn't mind putting your email down in the chat so people can connect with you, you're probably going to get some offers to do free nails or get a date or something. But if you would,
hello,
put it down in the chat so that people can connect with you, because they wanted to get a copy of this presentation because it's awesome.
Yeah, nails would be great though. Yeah.
Yeah, nails would be great. Okay, it's on me then. Go ahead. We'll do that. Okay. Questions, anybody?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment. This is Joanne Dole from Kihei Wailea on Maui.
Yes.
Hi, Connie.
Hi. Sorry, I'm typing now.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm assuming you can hear me.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to add that we did do our Parahana on Zoom, and it was great fun. I took somebody's example of asking everybody to bring their favorite cocktail or drink, and then to be ready to brag about it. And that was great fun. And one couple even brought hors d'oeuvres, and we sort of passed them around virtually, which was kind of funny. And the other thing was I've asked people to do something called I call a silver linings salute, asking them, what are the good things about being locked down in your house? What are some things that you didn't expect? And so we got some very interesting comments, good conversation. And then just two other quick ideas. In addition to the greeter, I instituted something called like the holo holo host. Holo holo means to go traveling, to go away. And so I wanted to wrap our members and our visitors in aloha. So not only are you greeted when you walk in, but then the holo holo host is there to send you on your way. Thank you for coming. And the silver lining on that is we meet at a restaurant. So there's always other patrons that are in the bar and other places, and they get a chance to see all of this aloha, and they ask questions. So holo holo host.
Like that's incoming is greeters and outgoing is holo holo hosts.
Yeah, and you can use two people for that, which would be a nice way of getting new people to come in, and then or just have the greeter also be the holo holo host person. So that's been good because we say goodbye to people with aloha as well as hello. And then just a couple things. You mentioned fun things in meetings, and you could do this on Zoom in a virtual one too. I did something called a magnificent mustache competition. We have several men who have magnificent mustaches, but I didn't want the women to feel left out. So I went to a party store and I bought a whole bunch of press-on colored mustaches and eyeglasses with, you know, Groucho Marx stuff. And then my son loaned me his fake red mustache beard with jingle bells in it.
Oh, fun.
And it took 12 minutes at a meeting and we made $175.
Oh, yeah.
It was $5 a ticket,
Oh,
you
that's
know?
awesome. Such good ideas.
And it was no brainer. And we gave it all to one of our projects that everybody voted in the room. Where do you want the money to go? And it was the fastest, easiest fundraiser I've ever done.
Hey, Nalani, we should do like something that, or maybe we do and I don't know about it. Or do we have some place that D5000 can just go on there and look at these great ideas? I think that's so awesome.
I agree with you. I have a question though for Joanne.
Yes,
I heard you brought in a new member.
yes, on Zoom.
Somebody says, how can you bring a new member during this time? Very quickly, share how you
Okay.
did this.
Very quickly, we were all set up to bring in 2 members, actually. And we were ready to do it during the meetings that were going to be held. And then everything was locked down. So I thought, well, we'll just do it on Zoom. And we did 1 member to come in. And in the meantime, the other member who was already approved had to go back to the mainland. And so we hope he'll come back so we can do this. But it was fun on Zoom. And that's how we did it. We had no choice and we did it.
I guess that's a
Thank
silver lining, huh?
You can do anything on Zoom.
Don't give Benson ideas.
All right, I've got some ideas about, you know, virtual fill in the blank. So cool.
Uh-oh.
Okay, any other questions, comments? A lot of really positive comments in the chat.
I've got a quick question or comment about Connie, because she really recruited me in a very aggressive way, twisted my arm.
No.
But what I wanted to mention is during this period of time where perhaps some of the members of the club have are not showing up to the virtual meetings, inspired by one of our members, Sally O'Brien, but Connie also participated in this. We're doing a calling members, especially the newer members, just calling them, and I've developed a little questionnaire, and we call and just say hello, how are you? You know, how's the stay-at-home thing going? You know, just to kind of check in with the membership, because during periods of time like this, you're vulnerable, your club is vulnerable to lose members. And with Connie's support and inspiration, we put a little call group together. And we're not sure what the results are because we just started. But Connie, you were very inspirational in making this happen.
Oh, okay. That's not true about the aggressively recruited you. That's absolutely not true.
Oh. Okay. I'll take that back.
Mhm.
What I would like to add to everyone online is that if you need a speaker, Connie can speak at your club meeting virtually, not limited just to this webinar. She can do a short form, and that will give her a lot of practice. Not that she needs it, but I think that's awesome that she's doing this presentation.
Hey, Connie, book the first Monday in June. Then you can do this for all the PEs that are coming in. 'Cause I know there's a lot of them that are on this call right now, but there's a bunch that aren't, and this would be super valuable. So we have the PE training the first Monday of every month at 7 o'clock, and I'll put a shout out. Kelly McDonald's on it. Kelly's gonna facilitate Monday's meeting, but first Monday in June, whatever that is, put it on your calendar. I'll follow up with you later, but
Oh,
great.
you're serious? Okay.
Okay, any other questions, comments?
May I add one more comment? This is Joanne.
Okay, Joanne, go for it.
Okay. I've been making a list of what I call Zoom, well, they are called Zoom breakers, and they're fun things. Connie, you've already mentioned them, but you can go online and get a list of them. And if you know any teachers in your area, ask them what Zoom breakers they're doing in the middle of their lessons to keep their kids engaged, because Rotarians are just big kids, and we all know that. So, you know, do a scavenger hunt or whatever it is. So go ahead and do that. I've got a list of mine, and if anybody wants to email me at teacherteacher04@yahoo, and I'd be happy to share with you anything I've talked about today.
I have a question. This is
Yes.
Jan
Yeah.
Takeda. I'm from Sunrise Rotary. Did you say the meetings with PE were on Monday morning at 7?
No, they're Monday evenings.
Evening.
Yeah,
Okay, because
first-
our regular
yeah,
meetings
Yeah,
are
and
Monday
it's
morning.
it's only once a month, the first Monday of the month at 7
In
p.m.
the evening.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, any other comments, questions for Connie? All right, awesome. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the recording so you'll hear this